Everyone, I just have to give you a warning. Thank you so much for watching the show. But if you are tuning in because you are interested in hearing about the difference between clearing a drain and drain cleaning, go to this timestamp right here. Austin's going to put it in. You go there because we got off the rails talking. I mean, if you want to hear some funny conversation about pens and New Year's resolutions and things like that, don't press fast forward. But anyway, all right, back to the show. Broadcasting from the Any Hour Services podcast studios, I'm your host, Mike Wilson. And on this episode of In the House, we're going to be talking about the difference between clearing a drain and drain cleaning. Let's go. I had to reach a little bit for that one.
Yeah, you almost knocked everything over.
Everything's been removed from this table.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's on the shelves.
Looks great.
It looks better on the shelves.
It does.
Aesthetically, the walls
good.
looked really bare.
And I was fiddling with everything all the time.
It's true. You were. I don't know if you guys realize this, but In the House is a podcast about the major systems in the house.
You don't say.
Electrical, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Each week, I'm joined by a panel of experts. It's a new year, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're going to be an expert this year.
Oh, that's the first time. Thanks.
Well, I mean, innocent until proven guilty, or, professional until you self-prove yourself as selfish.
None of this is making sense.
Yeah, I don't know. We try and make it informative. We pick a topic, we discuss it in depth. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. I got Chasen. I was pointing there, making eye contact with you.
Can you see it?
I've been calling him Jesse all morning.
I've been here for 15 years. You needed a name tag?
Jeez. Chasen.
It's the hair
14
change.
years.
Jesse.
Forgot who you were.
I didn't. That's just, it's a new year.
If I had a doll.
What good would that do?
Like a voodoo doll?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're from Louisiana. Do you have a voodoo doll?
I don't have one, but I was very familiar with the arts of the dark magic.
The dark arts.
I wasn't familiar by doing them, but I was aware that those things.
The random stomach
happened.
pains and things.
Yeah, no. I don't know. How's the New Year's treating you guys?
Good. Yeah. Not very far into it yet, but it's going well.
Yeah, absolutely.
No
Resolutions?
A
Did
lot
you
of
have any
unknown.
New Year's resolutions? Are you one of those guys that
I
I was
set
going to
goals.
say lose some weight, but you're already
I
small.
lost quite a bit.
Your
I
jacket
set
is
goals every day that so at the beginning of each month I set monthly goals. The annual ones are encompassed within my monthly and daily ones, and so I don't sit and do anything special.
Got it. So you don't look at the beginning of the year as okay, I'm going to start over fresh. This is when I'm doing.
No, the way
goals.
I look at the new year is we change the page on the calendar 12 times a year, so it's just one more of those 12.
If you have one of those day calendars, I mean, you could be changing it much more often.
365 times, in fact.
Or, I mean, if you're one of those people who have realized that we have, a calendar in our pocket and don't need a desk calendar anymore. I mean, I don't turn calendar pages
I'm
anymore.
not one of those people, because if I didn't have a real calendar,
You
real
wouldn't
paper,
be able to use your pens.
What would I use my pens for?
To show off exactly what
Just
you're
carry
using
it around
now.
and just hold it out. Should we do an explanation of my pen each week?
No, sir.
Okay, putting it back.
Well, I guess if you want to start, we could do something we can
Any
have
hour
Austin
pen
find a
services?
little another little music sting, like a little jingle.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. Chasen's pens.
Yes.
Chasen's pens.
Today we have.
Go ahead.
We're in it now.
Start as the new year.
We're in it now. This is one of the most popular types of pen. It's a Parker Jotter. When you get to nice pens, it's kind of the starting point. However, this one is
it's an entry level pen.
Yeah, it's like an entry-level nice pen. However, there's different lines within the Jotter family, and this one comes from a series they did a few years back that was based on buildings in London. This one's inspired by the architecture of Buckingham Palace.
Is it a limited run?
It is a limited run,
So
but
you
it's
can't
not
get
a very small limit. This one's pretty popular.
So it's a Parker Jotter.
Parker Jotter.
Jarker.
Sound it out.
We're done here.
Parker Jotter.
Yep,
that right?
Yep.
Buckingham Palace.
Yes.
That's the name of the pen.
It's just called the Parker Jotter from the London Architecture Collection.
That's much longer than Buckingham
4
Palace.
pens within
I feel like
that
you could
series.
say Parker Jotter Buckingham.
Okay, it's a Buckingham Jotter Parker.
So, Jesse.
Yes, I
Wait, hang on.
am here.
Hang on. Before you start talking, I meant to ask this the last time you started going off on pens.
It's kind of my thing.
Costs.
Yeah.
Where do those? Because like I'm going to tell you that like you say that's an entry level, but like when I
Cost
would
or
go
Cross?
Cost.
actually I don't know what it is.
Cost.
COS. Cross is another pen brand. That's why he's asking.
Oh, Cross
I-
might be the one that you can get at like Staples.
Cross.
You can get Cross at Staples.
Okay, so tell me about Cross because that in my mind Cross was always like, wait, what? You want $20 for a pen? I know yours are way more expensive, but I'm asking.
This one's 30. It's not that much.
That's
more.
not that much more.
No, it's not that much. No, Cross has $20 pens up to several $100 pens. I have a Cross that I got not too long ago. It's the now I can't remember. It's 21st century something. I'm new to Cross. I'm more of a Parker guy, so forgive me for not having the name all the way down.
I was always drawn to. You could get the Cross. Is that what it is?
Cross.
You could get the Cross. That's how into it I was. You could get the bundle that had the pen and pencil combo for $20. 1995.
Yeah, you still can.
Yeah, I know.
And a Parker Jotter, too.
Yeah, Parker Jotter has a pencil version as well. In fact, it's my favorite mechanical pencil.
All right, Jesse. New Year's resolutions. Do you have any? You seem like fit. Like I've known you for a long time, and you're into fitness. You work out all the time. Well, that was weird.
It was.
It was like a fuzzy thing.
It's a ghost.
Yeah. Do you set New Year's resolutions each year? Are you a beginning of the year, or are you a turn the calendar page once every 12 months?
My man.
Nope. A lot of my resolutions will roll over, and
Because you didn't accomplish them?
nope. No, you're right. Well, I mean, technically, are your goals ever really finished, or you just take them on to the next one?
Yeah,
Are
you
they
can.
though?
Yes, you can finish a goal and then you like set a new one.
Right.
I
so
think
you're
that's how
not-
goals are supposed to
Well,
work.
it's more like goals a benchmark. I guess it
no,
depends on
that's
how
it.
you
All
You
the
can reach a
benchmarks.
benchmark.
Yeah.
right, and then you move to the next benchmark.
Progression
Well, but
never
those-
stops, but there are
Thank
goals
you.
along progression.
Thank you, sir. I didn't use the right word. Progression, whatever you want. But some of them I have.
What's
I
the
have
point
new
of setting a goal if you never reach it?
setting attainable goals.
Well, yours didn't sound attainable. You were like, do you ever really reach your goal?
You ever heard that Green Day song called
didn't it
Walking
sound-
Contradiction?
I didn't even tell you what my goal was.
Yes, but you set it up as you started out by saying like I roll it over from the year before. I was like, why? Because you didn't accomplish it, and you were like, do you ever really accomplish a goal? Let me explain to you the difference between a goal and a benchmark.
I didn't say that. You
That's
put all those
pretty
words in
good.
my mouth.
No, you said all those words.
No, I didn't say all those words.
They might not have been in that order. That's what you were getting at. Okay. Anyway, so
So we're gonna cut that out, right?
Nope. I love it.
why would we cut it out?
I don't know. It was good
goal.
stuff.
I have a goal that makes it in, and watch this.
Accomplished.
I can achieve that goal.
You can.
All right, continue.
All right, point made.
So, okay, resolutions. Do you set them each year?
Yes, I do. Yep, I have a few. The fitness ones and health and stuff like that just keep going. They get better and better, or I figure out different things that I like to do better.
See, that makes sense because you seem like you're already like in shape and stuff. I wouldn't think that you would have to do what someone like myself has to do at the beginning of each year and be like, okay, I need to set a goal to like not eat Big Macs every day.
Right.
You eat a Big Mac every day?
I want to.
We got the special sauce.
I have gone through phases where I'd say I've probably taken a week. I'm not like that guy that you see on
Super
Are we
Size
going to
Me?
get to the episode? I'm sorry, everyone that tuned in
you-
to hear the difference between.
But you accomplished a goal. Remember, I lost.
took your money.
Yeah, I lost $100 to you over Dr. Pepper.
So
I don't know this.
How
this
is
is
that-
for the fitness episode, I guess.
Maybe
so
we're doing three today.
here was the goal. Jesse saw how much we were at a conference together, and he saw how much Dr. Pepper I was drinking in like one day, and he's like, "Oh my gosh." The way a normal person would respond when they see how much Dr. Pepper I was drinking.
Jesse's a normal person?
I'm saying anyone would look at the amount that I was consuming. Like when you said 100, whatever you said, ounces of soda, everyone's like, "Oh, wow." And I'm sitting here thinking like that sounds like a big container, but if you added up all of the 32s that I drank, I could probably dwarf that. The bet that Jesse and I made is he was like, if you just stopped drinking soda, you'd lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was like, there's no way. And he's like, I bet you. I was like, how much do you bet me? And he's like, $100. I was like, I'll take that bet.
That'll
And
buy
I
a lot of
said,
Dr.
but
Pepper.
first, let me just go back. You're saying that if all I do is stop drinking Dr. Pepper, that I'll lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And he's like, yes. And I was like, you do not even know the other food that I consume. And he's like, doesn't matter. I was like, if I'm eating McDonald's every day, and I was in a very heavy McDonald's like time in my life, and so like I knew that this was not going to happen. Like that was the easiest $100 I ever made. But I'll tell you this.
But did you lose any weight?
I think the first day it went up, my weight went up or something. But like I did lose a little bit, but not enough to like have to pay Jesse $100.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I lost horribly.
When I was doing it, I went off Dr. Pepper that day. Like I stopped cold turkey. And after I was over the initial part, I was actually, because at that conference we talked about setting other goals and doing other healthy things. And I was like, man, this is good. And I started wanting to not go to McDonald's. But I had a bet with Jesse where the only thing I was supposed to change was drinking Dr. Pepper. So I had to force myself to go to McDonald's twice a day like I had been
So what
doing.
about after 2 weeks?
After that, I actually changed some other things and I started losing weight. But I had to get that money
Did
first.
you go back to Dr. Pepper?
No. Yes, eventually.
Eventually, but not right away.
But like I went through, I got down to about, I lost probably 25 pounds, but it was over a long stretch.
Which
you know,
is a
I
healthier
wasn't
way
like,
to do it anyway.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm healthy, but
I didn't say you were. I just said it's healthier to lose it slowly.
that's what they say, and that's what I kept telling myself. Made me feel better. But yeah, it's back plus some, and
nice.
Good.
Yeah. But every time I'm like on Dr. Pepper and I go to off of Dr. Pepper, I think about contacting Jesse just because I'm like, I could
You
use
want to make another
$100.
bet? Did you get headaches?
Yeah. Every time I go off of Dr. Pepper, I'll get headaches for like I'll have one the first day. It's so predictable. I usually won't go off of Dr. Pepper until like a Saturday, so that I could at the end of Saturday my head will hurt, but then on Sunday like I would wish that I was just like laying in bed, so I'll go to church and then like come back and like nap a big chunk of the day, so that my body's like, you know, getting over the addiction,
Smart.
the withdrawals and
How
things.
often do you quit Dr. Pepper?
Oh, as often as I can.
Every time you drink one?
No, I don't. No, I'll go through. I'll either be off or I'll be on. Like, and this is as close to like in the middle as I've been. I'm looking for sponsor. Dr. Pepper, if you're watching, I would be happy to like replace this. This is water.
I don't know that they'd want a sponsor after we were just talking about how it makes you gain weight.
Like they don't know. Like they don't advertise as like drink Dr. Pepper and lose weight. Have you ever heard that? I haven't either.
No, I
All
guess I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the show.
We also proved that when you
Drain
whether it
cleaning
does or
versus
don't, because
drain
he stopped
clearing.
drinking it and it didn't change anything. So
Well, he said he lost some weight.
Just not $100 worth.
we had a way in and a way out, and
that's part. I was texting him a picture of my scale every morning, so that he would see it.
he has very good looking toes.
You just couldn't see him holding onto the counter, forcing himself down next to it.
I don't need $100 that bad. Like it was a legit, because I've heard people say that before, and I've also heard people say like, "Oh, I lost so much weight, all I did was give up soda," and I'm like, that's the biggest crock of crap I've ever heard. And so I wanted to test it, but
It worked for me.
there's no way.
Everybody is different.
You didn't do any exercising. You didn't change other things in your life.
Not when I went off soda.
And you went from looking like me to looking like you?
No, I dropped 15 pounds in less than 15 days just by giving up Pepsi.
I thought I was drinking a lot. Maybe he was drinking a lot more than me. I don't know.
I was doing.
Well,
Or maybe he wasn't going to
drinking-
McDonald's every day.
I had 332 ounces, and I wasn't going to McDonald's every day.
Yeah, I am. Was.
Was.
Still am.
And you replace that Dr. Pepper with an extra double quarter pounder with cheese, or a kid's meal cheeseburger,
No,
10-piece
I didn't.
nugget,
The McRib's back.
Ribs are so
an
disgusting.
apple pie.
Yeah, I don't even. Hey, don't you say a dang negative word about apple pie.
Guys, so the reason I wanted to talk about the difference between clearing a drain and drain cleaning, there seems to be a disconnect in what the public thinks drain cleaning is and what you guys are always talking about when you talk about clearing a drain. So first off, talk to me, what's the difference between clearing a drain and drain cleaning?
Yeah, it is a very common misconception that running a snake or running an auger is cleaning a drain. It really doesn't clean anything. There's difference is if you have a backed up pipe and you need to get the water cleared out of there, you run a snake. That'll poke a hole, maybe move some stuff around so water has a path to escape. Cleaning a drain is a totally different process where you're actually cleaning. If you have most kitchen lines, bathroom sinks, showers, they get a lot of soft buildup in them from soap, from oils off your skins, from all kinds of cosmetics.
I heard a new term to describe all of that stuff. Biofilm.
Oh,
It
it gives me mixed feelings. It seems applicable.
Drain cleaning gives you mixed feelings. Like, we're going to talk about your mixed feelings here in a second.
We can talk all about
And
my
what's
feelings.
the source of the biofilm?
What do you mean? What's the source?
Where
of
you
it?
heard that?
Oh, I just heard a plumber. That's the way they like described that gunk that like builds up
It's
inside.
not
And I
a
was
bad
like,
term.
oh, that's all right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
not a bad term at all. I call it sludge. It's a lot more scientific.
Okay, keep
But
going.
either way, a snake is really good at poking through hard, solid blockages. But for a soft one, it's just moving things around. It's like if you have a milkshake and you move the straw really fast, it'll start slushing stuff around. But then as soon as you stop, it's going to settle right back down in there. And that's the same thing a snake does in those soft buildups, the biofilm buildups in a pipe. And so cleaning it, usually through a process like hydrojetting or something like that, will actually liquefy all that stuff and wash it out of the line, and you'll have a clean pipe instead of just one that water goes through.
So why then do you think the public, like it's in their head, like drain cleaning? And one of the reasons I feel like we've spent effort and money trying to like train the public that it's clearing a drain and not drain cleaning, but all of the data online, when I look at like what are people searching for, we have search terms on our website. We have clearing a drain, block drain, unclog, all this stuff, and we have drain cleaning. And guess what outperforms everything by like a lot?
Drain cleaning.
Drain cleaning. So like why do people think that it's that? When they're, because that's what people think. They're like, I've got a block drain, I need to drain cleaning is what they'll search for. Why is that? Do you know? You have any theories?
I have theories, but I don't have a real answer for you. But my guess is that in advertising perspective, cleaning sounds better than clearing. It's easier to say, it's easier to hear. It means it sounds like it's going to do more. And maybe it comes from the title they give the technician that comes out. He's a drain cleaner, because drain clearer is kind of hard to say. And so you call a drain cleaner to get your drain cleaned, but really sometimes he's just clearing. So I'm guessing it's more from advertising than anything.
So I guess that brings me to my next question. At the end of the day, if a customer is searching for drain cleaning to unclog a drain, is there anything wrong with calling it drain cleaning?
No. The big difference comes in just understanding the difference between the two. If you get a drain cleared, it still has a lot of stuff in it that's going to cause more backups. But if you get it cleaned, you now have a pipe all the way opened up that's going to last you a lot longer.
That's going to come down to the right technician, though, as well, and who understands the situation that the customer is faced with, so that he or she can explain the difference between their particular situation and then apply the proper tool. And so, I mean, yeah, the public understands drain cleaning. I mean, but really it's kind of our job when we're in front of the customer to understand the situation and help them understand that.
So do you go through are your drain cleaners like trained to go through that education process when they're with people, or do you not hear it as much when you're in the homes, or do you still like come across it out there?
Oh, absolutely. They're trained in those situations. They have different types of tools on their trucks for those situations, and we train them and talk to them, and we coach them. We go through a lot of role playing on which ones and when to use them. Chasen does a great job, with the hands-on stuff, helping the guys understand which tools are going to work best for the proper application. But it doesn't stop there. It comes into educating the customer. Like, there's a reason I'm using this tool and not that tool.
See, I've always thought, and I think of it from a totally different perspective as you guys, just because like you guys are like in it like day in and day out, and you guys get super technical with like the terms and things that you're like sludge, super scientific.
Oh yeah.
But like when you guys are that close to it, I'm thinking in my mind, because from a marketing perspective, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, well, how do I occupy space in someone's mind, and how do I how do I understand what they already think something is and hijack that language?
Well, and it is hard because you've got to speak in terms people know and people understand. And so if you go out there with a bunch of drain clearing, it's the first time they've heard it, they're going to think it's different than what they think drain cleaning is.
So in my mind, and I'm not the one that like makes these decisions, but in my mind, it seems like if people are already thinking about drain cleaning, rather than like trying to re-educate them that like, no, this is actually drain clearing, this is drain cleaning, like not invent, but like classify things in a way that they would understand, meaning like, okay, yes, we can come and partially clean this drain. We can run a cable down it, and then explain like how the cable works and say like, it's not getting as clean as it could. Like this is a level 1 drain cleaning.
Yeah.
And then next step is going to be, is there a step between cable and hydrojet, or do you just go straight into hydrojet?
Really is the next
and it really is just a level 1 or a level 2, right? It's like
that's about
it. You're either clearing it or cleaning it,
level
right?
3 is replacement. Yeah. So
okay, so yeah, so like in my mind, that's how I would think that it works. But like, tell me from a technician's perspective, how come? And maybe it's not from every technician's. Maybe it's just like from your personal perspective. How come we have such a like fight against this? How come we're like, well, we can't say drain cleaning because it's like it's not
OCD
drain cleaning.
about it.
Say that again.
Because I'm OCD about it.
Gotcha.
I'm a big proponent of honest marketing, and that's what we do. We really try hard to make sure that the words we're using are accurate. But it is very difficult in short form advertisement, things like that, to explain that difference, especially when you're using a term they're not used to, like clearing. And so the best thing to do is if you're used to using drain cleaning, keep using it. And then when a good technician comes out to your house, they'll explain the difference to you. Our guys have pictures on their phones, pictures in their iPads of a pipe full of sludge or a pipe that's just been hydrojetted or one that's just been snaked, and they show them the difference. You really need to see it, have a good conversation about it to understand the difference. And so if drain cleaning is what people are used to searching, then keep searching it. And then just make sure you get somebody out there that you trust that will explain the difference to you.
Jesse?
Nope. He just, yep, I agree with that. Connect the dots as best you can on the marketing, and then let the technicians do the rest when they get with the customer. So the illustrations that we have in the books and in the iPads really makes a big difference, because it shows the different types of problems you can have in a pipe, and then the conversation, the right conversation for the right tool starts to breed from there.
Yeah, it is hard sometimes when you see companies like misleading people.
Yeah.
And they advertise, they'll say like, $30 to do this, and they have it right next to a picture of a pipe that's been hydrojetted, and you're like, that's not what you're doing,
right?
For $30, you're going to pay a couple $100, $200, $300, $400 to like hydrojet that thing to make it look like what you're implying looks like, $40 or whatever, 30.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway,
well, maybe just by way of explanation, more detailed of what we're talking about. Drain clearing, the first step, you have a pipe, usually 1.5 inches, 2 inches in most of these soft blockage kind of cases, and you run a snake through it. And that is a metal coiled rod, basically, that is anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch in diameter. And you're running that through a 2-inch pipe to try and clean, quote unquote, that pipe. And really all it's going to do is poke a hole 1 inch, 1.5 inches tops in a 2-inch or 3-inch line. And it's just going to give the water a way to get down. And that's really all it's going to do is make water go down. Who knows how long it's going to stay down. Cleaning is a very different process. Like I mentioned earlier, hydrojets. A hydrojet is actually a water hose that takes a head through the blockage, and that head has sprayers on it that actually scour the walls of that pipe totally clean. Rather than just being a rod that sits on the bottom going through, it cleans the entire diameter of that pipe and gets everything out of there. So there's a very different result from the two processes. And I didn't know if we'd really talked about that yet, so I thought I'd throw that little piece in there.
No, it's good. So there you go. If you see a company advertising a low price for something, more than likely that's cabling. They're going to snake the line to try and clear it, to loosen up the blockage, so that, if they need to get a camera down, or if they need to just get the water flowing or something, that's what that lower price is going to be.
Short-term solution.
Yeah. And then if you once you get them out there, if they talk to you about, more expensive drain cleaning options or hydrojetting or different things like that, then that's what's going on. So, it really is that simple. It's not super complicated.
Yeah.
We probably spent more time talking about our New Year's resolutions
I
and
think we
pens
certainly
and things
did.
like that. But
Absolutely.
so that's the show. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it, unless you guys have like this burning joke you want to tell or anything like that.
Well, what animal has more lives than a cat?
2 cats.
A frog. It croaks every day.
Well done. Well done. And I think that's where we're going to end. That's the show. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next Tuesday with a new episode of In the House. If you'd like to know more about Any Hour Services, visit anyhourservices.com. I've been your host, Mike Wilson, and you've been listening to
In the House.
That's my favorite. I gotta move this closer. That's my favorite. Like when you guys like
We nail it every
no one else
time.
is like picking up on that and like
How are they not?
joining it. I don't know. They're not as big fans of the show, I think.